Hello everyone, I'm Hayarakaria, and this is one of my favorite games that I've ever played. It's called Monster Hunter. This is the first one for the PS2, and I think it would be nice to play it again. First, we'll go through the character creation, and then I'll talk a little bit about my game. I can't make a game this awesome. I know I make games, but yeah. I do not know how to... That's backspace. Caps. So when I first played through this game, I used a different username, and I put everything as the default. So to keep up with consistency and for old time's sake, I'm just going to use the same setting, except I'm going to use my username that I use right now. Yes, I want to use this character. Do you want to save? Yes, I do want to save. Slot 1. We're going to override our old one. So yeah, you got a little glimpse at my old username back then, for people that might have played with me on the internets back then. When the server was up, oh, those were the good old times. And there's us. So by the number of Monster Hunter games that are out there nowadays, you can probably figure out that this game got pretty big. And this is the game that started it all. You start with 2 pages of items and 1 page of equipment. I'm not saying there's a lot of items in this game. Let's go out into town, and as anyone who's played a lot of Monster Hunter, you know that the story for Monster Hunter is basically non-existent. You basically got NPCs talking about random stuff. In this one, this guy talks about, well, he basically gives you gunner advice. This guy is basically your rival over here. He always talks about killing things faster than you. You have a generic shopkeep, and you have this random person over here, and you have 2 people here talking, and there's also random people over there. But the story is not really important. What's best about Monster Hunter is basically its gameplay. You basically take on missions and complete missions for more items from the things that you kill. At the back of your house here, you see a little sword. Let's try and pull it out and see what happens. We're too much of a wimp to pull that out right now. Don't worry, it's not really anything special, it's just a sword. I think the one we start with is actually better. But yeah, over here you see 2 people. The guy in the green sells you equipment for twice the price, and the guy over here creates equipment from stuff. You see over here, this one needs bones. We don't really have anything right now because we just started the game. This here is the village chief. He's the one responsible for giving you quests. And he's just going to go through some dialogues. He's talking about what it takes to be a hunter. And if you're serious about wanting to be a first-rate hunter, let me share what I've learned with you. Apparently he was the village's hero. We don't really need to learn this stuff, we're not noobs. I can say that I'm pretty good at this game when I used to play. I can even say that I was better at this than I am at StarCraft. And StarCraft is one of my best games, but I can't really compare it to some of the best players out there. So let's just start with the first quest. In this playthrough, I will be going through some of the weapon paths and what you could do at any given time, since I play the game quite a bit. and I'll also be doing commentary on my own playing. So enjoy. Over here you see the chief will tell you how to play the game, although we're not noobs so we don't have to read those. Over here's a blue box. I'm going to teach you how to play this game right now if you don't know how to play this game. Blue box always starts with supplies. You should probably take them. I would also encourage eating the rations at the beginning. They give you a boost to stamina. As you see up top, the green bar is your health and the yellow bar is your stamina. Stamina allows you to run and sprint like this. Red box is the delivery box for delivery type missions. This one requires us to deliver 2 pieces of raw meat. So you gotta bring the items back here to finish the quest. This is your hut. You have your bed inside. You sleep in it to regain all your health. It takes 20 seconds-ish. Over here you have a fishing pond for fishing. Fishing is a very good way to make money early on in the game. Well, let's get out and see the first cutscene. Yeah, wisdom. I can't deal with my own wisdom, thank you very much. So over here you see Aptonauts. These things are called Aptonauts. They're the first things you fight. You can see they don't really do much, and they stagger on basically any kind of damage. If one of these things sees another one being hit, they will run away. If one sees it sort of struggling on the ground, I don't think it'll do anything. I would suggest killing a few of these at the beginning. First, to get used to the weapon, the hunter's knife. Second of all, just to get some bones, because you kind of need those. Well, you can always use more bones. If not for selling them for actual items. This one seems to be really aggro, and it's actually trying to hit me, which is rare. So yeah, a little bit about this game. It used to have an online mode where you can team up with 4 other hunters to play, and the server went down, I think, sometimes around 2008. And on that day, a little bit of meat died inside, you know. Although that sort of happens on a regular basis now, so I have a pretty sad existence. Anyways, so online was a lot of fun. You got to play around with a lot of people. Although really, the legendary Black Dragon was around. The game was like, oh, this thing is really powerful, and nobody ever really saw it and came back alive. Like everyone and their mothers online was carrying around a Black Dragon spear made of its scales, upgraded fully. Wow, I got hit by one of these. Well, that's the first fail of the playthrough. A lot of this game later on, when you're fighting the more powerful enemies, it's just going to be pretty repetitive. It's going to be you hitting them and running away from them and hitting them some more, so I probably won't be talking a lot back at that point. But right now, there's so much to talk about in this game. Oh, my sharpness went down. Over on the top, you see that you have a sharpness meter. The more your sharpness drops, the less damage you deal. And also, you see those sparks that was coming out when I was hitting, I think it was over here. Yeah, like over there. When you see those sparks come out, it basically says that your attack deflected because the thing you're trying to hit had too much armor. When that happens, you deal 1/4 the damage, and I think it also wrecks your blade's sharpness more. To restore sharpness, you use a whetstone. Over here you see a pile of crap. You should look in this crap early on. Well, usually you'll find crap in there, like the labs that we do. Yeah, our labs are kind of crap. But sometimes you get a Kutku scale, which is like right now. This thing can sell for 250 credits. Unlike the later games, if you play Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, money is actually pretty easy to get in that game, but in the first game, the money is actually pretty hard to get by. You can't really get all your gear just by doing the quests and getting the rewards from the quests. It takes a bit more. There's also a lot of tutorial quests in here. They fixed all that in Freedom Unite, so yeah. This is still sort of experimental. And you're gonna find a lot of things that you don't like about this game still being here, like the carry missions are mandatory and all. But yeah, it's still an awesome game. This is the first game, you know, they're testing things out. Can't really blame them. And that was the first quest. You had to gather 2 pieces of meat, although I gathered more than I had to. That's one of my habits. I tend to try and cut down the animation thing for finishing a mission. I also try to sharpen my swords at the end of the quests. Now you'll always be rewarded with a small monster bone for these first start missions. The rest are mystery bones. These are useless. Don't take them. Crickets are bait for fishing. Don't take them. Well, take them if you want money. But yeah, you don't have an option to send your items straight to your item chest in the first game, but that doesn't really matter. You know how the chief gave you 1,500 credits at the beginning of the game? That credits is basically used for getting a set of noob armor if you are a noob. I would strongly suggest you don't do that, because the noob armor can be replaced in about 2 hours of playing. We're not going to save right now. What you want to do is you want to come here, go to this guy, weapon craft. You want to create a... That's the second fail of this playthrough already, and we're not even an hour in. I'm just terrible at this game. We'll just go to the second one. Preparing meat teaches you how to cook meat in the mission. It's really useful talent to have, like massing carriers. I am too lame. I can already see the comments saying, "You are lame." But no, actually I can't, because only 3 people watches my videos on a regular basis. Excuse me while I go to a corner and cry. So for this one we don't even have to leave camp. We can just use the spit here, because we already have the excess meat from the last mission. That's how you cook meat. You're supposed to use the music to guide you. Listen to it and wait until it stops. One, two, three. Now the well done steaks are basically, they heal 2 bars of stamina. I think I'll just make 4. You know what, let's make 2 more. So over here now we have 6. So that thing heals 2 bars of stamina, so it'll bring it up to max from the beginning. If you want, you usually don't want to wait for that in battle. So another way to do this is do that. That's a lot faster. So you can get more done. You make a rare steak. Rare steaks heal 1 bar of stamina, which is basically what you need when you're fighting. Because you basically want your stamina to be full when you're fighting. Well, the only use for a well-done steak is basically at the beginning. Don't eat your rations. Eat your well-done steak. Save your rations for later. But it's kind of debatable what's better. Blocking also prevents your stupid little animation at the end of the quests. So now we got our third bone. Now we can make the bone blades. That's why I told you to save your money at the beginning, because if you don't save your money then you can't really afford it, and getting 1,500 credits at the beginning is pretty difficult, since the rewards are like 50 on each quest. So come here, weapon craft, create weapon, bone blades. Yes, I want to create and I want to equip it now. Now the difference thing between this one and the previous weapon, well actually just check what's the improvement requirements. You need 3 small monster bones and you require more Vespine gas, no. Alright, 2,000 credits. I'm just gonna be playing with the greatsword for a while. This third quest is searching for items. Now, I had a lot of problems playing this at the beginning. I had to leave, well, I didn't know how to abandon quests back then, so I had to reset my console, because I was stupid. Come back here, and you can actually buy the spiderweb here. I think it's also 2 herbs, which you can also buy here. Yes, I call them herbs. I don't care what people say. Herbs are the things that you put as spices. Herbs are the things that heal health. That's how I roll. And you can basically buy the spiderweb here, and you can buy the herbs here, which will bring you down 90 credits. No, it'll actually bring you down 100 credits. And the reward for the mission is 50. So you lose a bit. Doesn't matter if you don't know how to do the mission. I'll show you how to do the mission. Different weapon classes. Greatsword, which is the one I just made. You know how at the previous missions I had a little sword and shield. You can block with the shield and you can hit with the sword, which hits pretty fast. Greatswords are slow. They can also block, but blocking reduces sharpness. So we'll start off by grabbing our usual set of items. We'll start by eating our rations. I'm not going to go look in the piece of shit, just because I know better ways of making money and I can basically survive with no armor for a while in this game. You really only fight the first thing that is capable of dealing any significant damage to you in the end of 3-star missions. This game starts off pretty slow to teach you how things work. There's also a hidden search spot here for paint berries, and sometimes it contains cut good scale, like right now. Herbs you find over here. Yeah, you're supposed to look for these plants, that's what the chief tells you, but I know where all these spots are. There's one herb over there. The one on the tree up front, that one doesn't give you herbs, that one gives you some garbage for ammos. But really, if you want ammo, you should just buy the ammo. I mean, it only costs 2 credits. Over here you can find ivy, which is used for making nets for pitfall traps if you're using that kind of stuff. I'm not really big on items, just because you have to resupply all the time. See, moss wines over here is second type of thing you probably saw. Because my weapon is such a piece of shit, I can't really kill it at all. And I'm missing because my positioning is terrible. Third fail of the video. These things give you blue mushrooms. Let's teach you how to combine shit. You can combine a herb and a blue mushroom to create an unknown. These are potions of healing. These are very useful to have. They basically, I think they heal about the same amount as a... Fourth fail of the video. I haven't played this game in a few years. Give me a break. Yeah, those things have a pretty high blue mushroom drop rate. Go kill them if you want mushrooms. Later on you can get more mushrooms. Just try and combine the other one. Each combination has a success rate. You see... No, potion. Potion has a 95%. You'll get garbage, literally garbage, if you fail a combination attempt. For things that are higher... that have higher difficulty with lower percentage success, you should probably save your game and combine. Reload if you fail, because I think for the later ones, there's one thing called a Mega Demon Drug, which takes a item that you get from a drop of a dragon. You don't exactly want to farm those. Trust me, I farmed those on Freedom Unite. With G-class weapons, it still takes a long time to kill that thing. Everyone knows why people hate Kazus. Everyone hates Kazus. Or Kazus, depending on how you call them. I'm actually kind of split between which way you call them. But yeah, the spider web you need is up here. Go search for it. Spiderweb and ivy makes a net, if you don't know that. But yeah, Kazus are just annoying to farm because they have so much health and they don't really take damage from anything. Over here, if you drop down here, you see a mining spot. Well, we don't have a pickaxe and we can't really afford one right now, so we're just gonna leave and cry about how poor we are. That's a little glitch over here. If you jump on the right spot, then that last part will catch your fall, and then you won't stagger when you from falling from too high. And you'll fall off right away, so basically, yeah, it's just a little trick. What was I talking about before? Crying, and I forgot. It'll probably come back if it's important. Let's go and kill another one of these things. You also don't stagger from weak attacks, like from these Aptonoth, when you're swinging your sword around, which is nice. Is there really nothing useful? Okay, there's really nothing useful. I should stop teaching you how to play the game and actually play the game. Those are basically the provided potions. Supply items are always returned at the end of the missions. If you want, you can take these binoculars and sell them. I don't think they sell for very much. Also, in this fishing pond, if you're new to this game and you want some armor, you can fish there. If you get a golden fish, I think that sells for 650 credits. I forgot how much it sells for, but it's quite a bit for the beginning of the game. Fishing is a good way to make money in this game. I love how you deliver 2 herbs and he gives you 3. Anyways, I guess I don't get any bones for this mission. Now, as far as weapon paths go, there's a few types of weapons in this game. There's standard sword and shield, which we were using before at the beginning of the game. I'm just gonna sell these Kutku scales because I have absolutely no use for them. We'll have use for that later. Yeah, sword and shield are basically fast-hitting, low-damage type weapons. But since let's take item out. Store the herb and the potion, and well, that's steak for now, I guess. Rare steak. But yeah, because the way the game works with armor, they basically won't deal damage to anything bigger than a shoe. Combining item asks you to bring him a few potions. So yeah, the sword and shield basically won't deal much damage to anything bigger than a shoe in this game, just because the way the armor works, each hit is separate, and armor calculations makes it... Well, there's not really that much things with a lot of armor in this game. There's the Gravios. I think anything else the sword and shield can actually cut through. I think Diablos and Monoblos later on have some resistance. Dual swords are basically the same thing. It sacrifices the shields and the ability to block for more damage with another weapon. Sharpness drains extremely quickly with dual swords. So you're going to need to bring lots of whetstones if you want to use dual swords. Again, you can farm moss lines for mushrooms. And you can also search for blue mushrooms here. I think in this combining mission they don't want you to fail. Okay, they do want you to fail. But yeah, mushroom places generally drop more blue mushroom. That was the most fail search I've ever seen. Usually these search spots contain 4 items to search for. So that one gave us 2 because the game is hating tonight. Over here, if you climb up here on area 9, you can see there's a beehive there. You want to search here for honey, which is a useful item, useful for making potions. If you see nothing found, it means that you haven't found anything because you didn't find anything. If you see there's nothing else here, that means there's no more items and you should stop looking. But if you see nothing found, then you can basically keep on looking for more items. It's recommended to look for more items because, well, there's more items here. Usually things have 4 items though. So that's all the items we have here. No other reason to visit area 9 basically. It's just a honey spot. Area 9 is really annoying for fighting dragons in. I guess they're called wyverns because dragons are the true dragons, which are all gone. They're online exclusive. They basically take up that whole corridor, and you just can't dodge them, and they're annoying to fight in a tiny area like that. You can actually throw some shit at it to make it fly away. Literally, you make a dung bomb out of the dung that we collected from that spot, and you throw it at them, and they'll fly away. Over here, this spot usually gives nitro shrooms, which are used for making bombs. They're generally not useful, but in this mission they give blue mushrooms, which are, in my opinion, more useful because you drink potions way more often than you throw sonic bombs or barrel bombs. There is no reason anyone should be using barrel bombs except on things like Viserials or Leoshan, but Leoshan isn't around anymore. I'll probably record Leoshan on my copy of Monster Hunter Freedom Unite and post it just because, well, we fought it before and it was nice. Now that spot actually seems like, yeah, we can take 2 more. Blue mushrooms cap at 10. I think the spot actually gives 10 on the first time you do this mission. So let's go over there and get some herbs. This tree gives scatter nuts and random garbage, which you don't want. You want this place, which gives herbs. Yeah, I actually spent quite a long time on 1 star because I didn't know how the game curves up when I first played. And I found basically every single search spot. I guess it pays off somewhat. Okay, now let's go and pick up the rest of the mushrooms. But yeah, when I first played this, I think I was 10, 12, something along those lines, you know, when I didn't really know anything. Oh, I'll give 9, I think. No, there was 1. Yeah, that did give 10. I think. I'm not a math major. So let's go back and deliver those potions. So let's continue on with weapon classes because I went on about something random halfway through talking about them. Hammers, armor crushing. Only thing good you can do with a hammer is probably kill the Kirin, but the Kirin isn't around anymore, sadly. Just have a moment of silence for the Kirin. On with the mission. So yeah, everything else you're going to be dealing more damage with anything else. The hammer is a joke. If you want to use the hammer, go ahead, but for a joke only. If you're really having trouble with this game, either grind or get something better than a hammer. Greatsword, the one I'm using, deals high damage. It's still a cut type weapon. Not advised to go for the Gravios. Bowguns are extremely expensive in this game. You can't even buy the Wyvern Claws required to make the good ammo anymore. So you're gonna have to rely on killing stuff, which are hard, so using bowguns highly not recommended. Just come on, blue mushroom and the herb. Another combination is potion with honey, which makes you a mega potion. Or in this case, it makes garbage. This game is really hating today. There we go, make a potion. So, hammers, joke weapon. Bowguns, not recommended because of how high it costs to maintain. Lances are really overpowered in this game. They deal both crushing damage and cutting damage, and they're just really overpowered in this game. So that'll be the type of weapon I'll be using. I'll also be making dual swords for the lesser enemies, like the... Well, they'll come later in the game, and you'll know them when you see them. Greatsword is also a valid option, although I wouldn't be using it much. I just basically got one to get the higher damage output for the beginning part of the game. Okay, can we have some bones? Oh, we got a Cutco scale. I guess we don't get any bones. Well, again, we don't get any useful bones anyways. Fifth mission, final one for 1-star, fishing, teaching you the basics. The chief actually tells you that you won't survive long if you don't master fishing. I'm going to go through this entire playthrough fishing only once, and that's for this mission. Fishing is not important. I mean, yes, it makes you a bit of money at the beginning, if you really need money, but the first mission, 2-star, basically gets you faster money farming. Also, I'm gonna do some grinding off camera, cause this game basically... let me actually talk about the armor classes first. There's two generic class of armor, or weapons. Yeah, two generic class of weapons: the bone-based weapons and the ore-based weapons. Bone-based weapons generally have higher raw attack but lower sharpness. And they're made of monster materials, while ore-based weapons are made of ores and have higher sharpness but lower base damage. If you really want to make the game really hard on yourself, go for the bone-based weapons. If you want to make the game easier for yourself, make the ore-based weapons. The ore-based weapon does require a bit more grinding, but just the construction path is a lot easier. You don't have to... I think the lance to get on the bone side, if you want to get a decent one, you're going to need a large monster bone, which doesn't come until the end of 4-star. Or the beginning of 4-star. I can't remember which mission the Cephadrome was in. But yeah, it's quite the pain to get, so I wouldn't get it. Now, there's also a set of armor called the High Metal Armor, which requires Macalite ore. Macalite is really annoying to get. I'm going to show you a trick to get it easier, but it's still quite the pain to get. So don't try and get that armor unless you're having a lot of trouble with this game. But this game does make it really, really easy if you grind a lot, especially for a Macalite ore. I think that set of armor provides 12 defense apiece. Defensive power in this game scale differently than the recent games. So yeah, here's a cutscene. So you don't really want that piece because it takes so long to grind, but it is on par with, I think, Plesioth armor, which is a 5-star water wyvern. So it is some top tier armor. It's just kind of annoying to get, really annoying to get. Oh look, there's one of these things. These things are called Bullfangos. If they hit you, they send you flying across the map. Which is why me and my friends, you know, when we used to play, we removed the N from their name, because that's basically what they are. I just got sent flying across the map. I should stop being greedy and trying to get in so many hits. I clearly blocked that. So much fail in this game. At least I blocked that one. Can't believe I'm being forced to drink a potion this early into the game. Stay down. Now fishing. You see that little red lure? You want to press X when it sinks completely. Sometimes it'll sink a little bit. You don't want to pull when that happens. Because if you pull when it's little, then you'll not get anything and you just waste a bunch of time. If you don't pull when it sinks fully, you'll lose your bait. But yeah, that's basically fishing for you. You don't really need to know it, because you'll never really need it. Now, I know you can't tell this, but I'm playing on a PS2 controller with the vibrations. It vibrates differently depending on the amount of pull. And I just thought that it vibrated enough for me to pull. I'm bad at fishing. Because I played this game for 1,500 hours and I only fished like twice. That's not what we want. Ah, so trigger happy. I lost track of how many fails I've had so far. There we go. Is this what we're looking for? That's what we're looking for. Now remember this place with the mushrooms? First of all, kill that. You always really want to pick up some mushrooms, because I don't think the potions appear in the shops until really late in the game here. As I said before, they are experimenting with the game, so you can't really blame them. Well, I can't really say they're experimenting with the game. It's that they optimized the game later on with things that people like a lot of. So pick up the honey again. Yeah, there's nothing else. I don't want to stay here with the cats too much. The black cats will steal your items. I would rather stay away from that. Oh yeah, there's also a herb spot over there. Let me just kill this guy first. Oh, special mushrooms. Those are sold at the end of each mission. They're just basically items worth money. Over here in this little spot you find herbs. And there's nothing else here. So at least now I have enough blue mushrooms to combine with the herbs. I did not mean to pull out my sword, or my fingers are too fat to play this game. I don't have blue mushroom, we have honey, which we're gonna combine with the potion. And we'll deliver the sushi fish. That's what the quests required us to get. I know I didn't show at the beginning, but tutorial quests aren't really that hard at all. They don't give us the big, the good bones again. You don't get large monster bones for a really long time. I think I talked about that before. So now that we've proven ourselves worthy, there's going to be a new urgent quest. Now the quest levels proceed after you cleared a certain number of points, number of quests. I think the first one proceeds after you cleared all of them. Either that or it's the fishing one. I can't remember, but I plan to clear all the quests, so you don't have to worry about me skipping any. After you cleared a certain amount of requirements, you're going to get the urgent quest. After you clear the urgent quest, you unlock the next round of quests. So apparently we've proven ourselves worthy now. This one gives 2 stars, and you gotta slay 3 Velociprey, or Velociraptors. They're basically Velociraptors that are blue. There's nothing really special about them. My first monster hunt. See, even the game thinks that everything we were killing before wasn't really worth talking about. But really, anything that doesn't fly and breathe fire isn't worth talking about. You know the routine now. Take your rations and let's roll. This is actually a really good farming mission if you're planning to get some equipment right now. Velociprey makes pretty good starting gear, which is why I haven't really gotten any right now. I think they cost 1,500 apiece. They take Velociprey scales, hides, and iron ore. Either they took Velociprey hides or Kelby hides, I forgot. These things do kind of get annoying later on when there's other things trying to attack you. I'm just gonna go over to the same spot and pick up the honey. If you pick all that stuff up when you do these missions, it makes the game a lot less tedious. Because if you have to run out of potions and you want to do your next Rathalos quest, doing this kind of item runs is really annoying. And I know, because at the beginning I was using basically every single item possible on the Rathalos. Because I chose dual swords. I just thought the dual swords were cool. I didn't actually know how good they were, but the mechanics of this game means they can't really cut anything bigger than a shoe. And the Rathalos is clearly bigger than a shoe. So yeah, also pick up the mushrooms if you want, and pick up the herbs. Actually, I'm just gonna go kill the little idiots first. They do get really annoying later on when there's dragons trying to kill you, and they stagger you because they apparently hit you. I wouldn't even bother carving these. Wow, that one actually dodged my hit. Dodge that. I don't need to see to hit this thing. There we go. If you kill these things with cut-based damage, then and they're in the air, like they're not grounded, then you can actually cut them in half, and it's kind of hilarious. You can also do that with a lance, because the lance also does cut type damage. I'll be switching to a lance later. You see, in the rewards, you just basically get all the Velociprey items. So you don't really need to carve them. Their carcass just disappears really, really fast. No, we're not saving. I'll just show you guys the armor craft. See, the Velociprey mail is unlocked. It offers 6 defense. The best thing you can buy is the battle mail for pure cash without building, and that gives you 7 defense. And this thing costs 4,000 to buy. Usually to build takes half the amount of resources as it does for buying, and buying doesn't really scale. Like after you unlock the Velociprey mail, you're not gonna get it to. You're not gonna be able to buy it for 3,000. The requirements for this is apparently Kelby hide and iron ore, and Velociprey scales. So you can just farm that mission for money right now if you want. And I think we have enough time for another video. Another mission. Remember those well done steaks we made? Well, I'm gonna take them out. Deliver 5 well done steaks. Now you know why I made 5 extra for that one. I wasn't sure if I needed 3 or 5. So I'm actually recording these in chunks. I don't know how long I've been going, but I'm gonna cut the video after this one. So I don't actually know how many videos that'll end up being split into at the end of the... Yeah, there's nothing here. But you know the drill if you didn't build these, if you didn't get those steaks. There's a barbecue spit in the item box there. You can take that and you can make the meat. You can also go and gather a usual set of stuff. Ooh, we got power seeds. Alright, this mission. I forgot to talk about it. This mission gives you power seeds and sometimes armor seeds. Those will increase your attack and defense for a little bit. If you combine those with a catalyst, which is bitter bug and honey, I believe, then it'll give you a really big boost. Well, no, it'll give you a slightly bigger boost, I believe, but it'll last until you die or the next mission. So I'm going to do a little bit of playing off camera. Wait. No, I'm not. I'm just going to continue recording. But I'm going to cut this video here right now. I'll probably clean up my box and all this items off camera. So I'll see you guys in 5 minutes.